Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. So, ang ating pagtatalakayan ngayon ay about sa point of view. Okay? Ano nga ba ang point of view? Okay, kindly look at these pictures. May disclaimer lang po. So, ginamit ko lang yung pictures na ito for educational purpose lang. So, ito po yung itsura po ng Manila Bay before. So, marami pong basura. So, ito po yung, kumbaga, naabutan na natin na laging nababalita na laging hindi nauubusan ng basura yung Manila Bay. And lalo na pag umuulan, doon nagpapakita o lumulutang yung mga basura at ah, itinatapon pabalik doon sa tabi ng Manila Bay, di ba? So, tingnan nyo naman yung itsura niya ngayon. Okay? So, nalinis siya at tinambakan ng Dolomite Beach. So, sa aking opinion, maganda yung ginawa ng Duterte administration. Dahil natanggal yung mga basura dyan, di ba? Kaya naman palang linisin. So, it took 2 years lang yata, 3 years at nalinis na itong Manila Bay. Tingnan nyo, kaya naman palang linisin. At uh, at maraming tao yung natuwa dito sa pagkaka-rehabilitate ng Manila Bay. Ganon din po sa mga estero sa Manila. Makikita niyo yung before and after, tambak ng basura. And then yung after. So, ang linis. Lalo na din yung mga Pasig Rivers natin. Yung Pasig River. Isa lang yun. Sorry. Pasig River. Iba yung Pasig River natin, ang daming basura. So, nakaya nilang linisin yun, di ba? Nalinis ng DENR at yung iba pang uh, tumulong sa DENR sa paglilinis ng Pasig River, mga estero sa Manila, pag-relocate ng mga ito, ng mga illegal settlers dyan. Kasi sila yung dahilan kung bakit dumami yung basura dito. Yung mga uh, undisciplined people din. Diba? Na tinatapon sa ilog yung mga basura. Nakakalungkot, diba? Kung iisipin, kung uh, napab, uh, sa tagal na pinabayaan natin na ganito kadumi yung bodies of water natin. At sana naman magtuloy-tuloy na maging malinis yung ating Pasig River, Manila Bay, tsaka yung mga estero. Para hindi naman sayang yung effort na ginawa. Diba? So, ang pag-aaralan natin is about point of view. Ano ba yung point of view? So, sa lesson na ito, let us determine the point of view of one's thoughts and feelings, determine the point of view of a passage, and share their own point of view on a certain topic or issue. So, sa ginawa ko, nag-share lang ako ng simpleng opinion of ang pananaw ko doon sa pictures na shinare ko sa inyo. Simpleng pananaw lang. Okay? Pag sinabi nating point of view, this is based on what you have observed, what you have seen, what you have heard, and what you have experienced. So, doon nabubuo yung perspective natin, yung pananaw natin, yung opinion natin. Diba? Doon sa nakita natin, narinig, na-observe, at na-experience natin. So, kapag naman ah, ah, kung tatalakayin natin yung speaker's point of view, pag sinabi nating speakers, pwedeng ikaw maging speaker, pwedeng siya, okay? Lahat tayo pwedeng maging speakers. So, this is speaker's point of view. This is his or her thoughts and feelings about someone or something. Ito yung opinion mo o yung masasabi mo dun sa isang tao or isang bagay o isang issue. So it may be open, it may be hidden, stated, or unspoken. Pwede natin 'tong makita sa, ma-express in written form, oral form, or yung mga simpleng images lang sa actions natin, makikita o mararamdaman ng ibang tao yung point of view natin. Okay? It may be influenced by fear, worry, jealousy, past negative experience, lack of self-confidence, or even hostility. So maraming mga factors na nakakaapekto doon sa point of view natin. On the contrary, it may be influenced by positive thoughts and feelings such as excitement, rush, or infatuation, sense of adventure, sense of belonging, or sense of importance. So, depende sa experiences natin. Kasi meron tayong mga positive experience, negative experience, ay nakaka-apekto yun sa ating idea, sa pag-iisip natin at pagbibigay ng sariling point of view sa isang bagay or issue. So, may mga tanong lang ako dito. How can you, as a listener, identify the speaker's point of view? Paano ba natin malalaman yung point of view, the speaker's point of view? So, when you are listening to someone during a conversation, do you really listen? Nakikinig ka ba? Do you really listen to understand not only the words but the speaker's point of view? So, para malaman natin yung point of view ng isang tao, kailangan nating makinig, to listen, to internalize, and understand the speaker's point of view at saka yung mga words na ginagamit niya. So, depende ito sa mood, sa purpose, at sa tone ng speaker. Okay? So, yung manner of his speaking, the way he speak or the way she speaks, makikita natin yung uh, point of view ng isang tao or yung mga idea niya or information na binibigay niya. So malalaman natin kung positive ba yung point of view niya or negative yung binibigay niyang point of view. Minsan, depende ito sa atin kung sa atin ay negative yun or positive yung point of view na binigay niya. For example, dito sa dialogue na to. So, Father, why do you need to watch a theater presentation in the city? So, yung point of view dito ng father is worried about the traffic jam. So, sa mother naman, why are you so selfish? Don't you understand that our daughter is the president of her school's theater club? So, dito naman sa mother, she loves theater. Okay? Ayun yung kanyang point of view. Bakit naman? Bakit naman pagbabawalan yung kanilang anak na pumunta doon sa that theater presentation? And yung daughter naman understands both her parents' point of view. So, Dad, don't worry, we'll take the bus or the school bus. Mom, I think Dad's worried that his car might overheat if he gets caught in the traffic jam in the city. Okay? So, yung daughter naman, naintindihan niya yung point of view ng kanyang parents. Okay, next. You have a very good reading comprehension and you can remember details. You can speak very well. You have self-confidence. I think you will become a top notcher. So, yung point of view dito ng father niya is positive, di ba? Ay naapektuhan ng mood niya or yung pagiging happy niya. Okay? Pagiging proud ng kanyang father doon sa kanyang ah, anak. At dito, ini-insist niya o yung sarili niyang opinion dahil nga magaling siya sa reading comprehension at nakaka-remember siya ng mga details, nagsasuggest siya dito na dapat maging siya, top-notcher lawyer. So dito naman sa mother, what you will expose our beautiful daughter to the risks and dangers of being a lawyer. You want her to deal with criminals. She will be a doctor, not a lawyer. So dito naman, ina-oppose niya yung point of view nitong father. And ini-insist niya na hatid ng risk and danger ng pagiging isang lawyer. So, binigay niya din dito yung sarili niyang suggestion o yung kagustuhan niya na, na dapat maging doctor na lang yung kanyang anak na lawyer. So, dito naman sa daughter, wait a minute, have you asked me what I like to do with my life? It's my life. It's my future. That I don't want to become a lawyer. And mom, I don't want to become a doctor. So, dito, ina-express niya, okay, yung sarili niya, yung freedom niya, yung free will niya, na yung kung ano yung plan niya sa future niya. Okay? Na-explain niya dito na ayaw niya na maging lawyer at ayaw niya din maging doctor. So kayo, kung meron kayong komento dito sa dialogue na to, i-comment nyo lang po sa comment box. Okay, activity 2. Yun po yun. So determining the point of view of a passage. Doon sa passage naman na binabasa natin, yung writer, gumagamit po siya ng point of view. So there are three types of point of view of a passage. First, a story is usually told from someone's perspective or point of view. Siyempre, di ba yung mga text naman at passages naman ay galing yan sa imagination, galing yan sa point of view or perspective ng isang writer. Sarili niyang experiences, imaginations, idea, past experiences, di ba? Kaya nakakagawa siya ng isang story or passage or kasabihan, poem, di ba? Sometimes the main character tells the story. Sometimes another narrator does. Someone who seems to be watching the story unfold but is not the main characters, or someone who sees everything that is happening and knows what the character feel and why they do what they do. Why they do what they do. Sorry. Okay, let's take a closer look at the different points of view. First is first person point of view. If a story is written in the first person point of view, the narrator of the story is a character in the story. Usually, it is the protagonist. This point of view is easy to identify because the narrator uses the pronouns I and me. So, ang writer, gumagamit po siya ng first person point of view. Pag sinabi natin first person, ito yung mga pronouns. First person, yung I, me. Yung I and me. Yan po yung first person na pronoun. So, makikita mo dito na yung narrator itself ay yung main character doon sa story. Kumbaga, isinasalaysay niya yung nangyari doon sa buhay niya. For example, I myself had two separate encounters with witches before I was 8 years old. From the first, I escaped unharmed, but on the second occasion, I was not so lucky. Things happened to me that will probably make you scream when you read about them. So this is from The Witches by Roald Dahl. Kung makikita nyo, gumamit dito ng first person point of view kasi nakita natin yung pronoun na I, then yung myself, then yung I dito, ang dami oh. So, ibig sabihin, first person ang gamit na point of view dito. The main character in this story is the one narrating. You know this because the author uses the pronouns I and me. Next is the second person point of view. It is not often used in stories and narratives. More frequently, this point of view is used for directions and instructions. Okay. So, hindi siya ginagamit sa story. So, ginagamit itong second person point of view for uh, telling directions or giving instructions. So, this uses short imperative sentence or command. Kumbaga, nagbibigay siya ng command or imperative sentences to give directions where the implied subject is you. So, dito sa text na ito, dito sa mga text na ito, for example, procedural text, hindi mo makikita yung pronoun na you. Okay? minsan hindi mo makikita yung pronoun na you. Hindi siya minsan stated doon. Kumbaga, automatic na yun na ikaw sinasabihan ng ah, writer doon na ikaw ang binibigyan ng direction or instruction. Kaya, as is na yun, automatic na yun, kahit pa lang nakalagay na pronoun you. Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung pinag-uusapan doon. Ikaw ang sinasabihan ng writer. Even if you is not is explicitly stated, it is understood that you are the subject of direction and instruction. Kumbaga ako, tapos ikaw yung uutusan kitang bumili ng Jollibee. Okay, bumili ka nga ng Jollibee doon. Ito ang gawin mo. So, ganun. Kumbaga, doon naka-stated. Gumamit ako ng ah, bumili ka. Pero minsan, doon sa mga text na gumagamit ng first person point of view, hindi na pinapakita yung automatic na yun na meron na ikaw yun ang ah, subject doon sa text na yun. Kumbaga ikaw yung mismo sa'yo binibigay yung direction tsaka instruction. Gumawa ko. Okay. Next. For example, once you've verified your computer is compatible with connecting to the internet, you'll need to determine who you are going to connect to the internet through. In order to connect the internet, you're going to have an internet service provider. In most areas, you'll be able to connect to the internet using either using a local ISP, which is company in your city that makes its business by selling internet connections, or you may want to consider a large ISP such as AOL and MSN, which is a large international company with locations all over the United States and the world. So this is an excerpt. Papagod ako magbasa. Okay, so dito makikita mo yung your. So, klarong-klaro naman na nagbibigay ito ng direction or instruction. At dito naka-stated yung nakalagay yung pronoun na you. Diba? So, second person point of view ginamit dito ng writer. So this gives instruction on how to connect to the internet. It uses the pronoun you and your. Next, a story written in the third person point of view uses pronouns such as he, she, him, her, and other third person pronouns. Kung mapapansin niyo, pronouns yung ginagamit dito. First person, personal pronoun. Second person, personal pronoun. And third person, personal pronoun. Kumbaga, may character doon, tapos i-describe mo siya or may sasabihin ka doon tungkol doon sa character na yun, ginagamitan mo ng noun substitute or noun substitute yung na pronoun he or she depende sa gender noong uh, ng noun na yun. For example, Mr. Bucket was the only person in the family with a job. He worked in a paste factory where he sat all day long at the bench and screwed the little cups on on to the tops of the tubes of toothpaste after the tubes had been filled. But the toothpaste cup screwer is never paid very much money. And poor Mr. Bucket, however hard he worked, and however fast he screwed on the cups, was never able to make enough to buy one half of the things that so large a family needed. So makikita nyo gumamit dito ng he sa text na ito. Kumbaga, describe niya si Mr. Bucket. So, third person yung ginamit na pronoun. Therefore, third person point of view ito. This is from Charlie and Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. Hindi ko natapusin. Ang haba kasi. Okay, ito yung explanation. The narrator is telling the reader about a character named Mr. Bucket. He or she seems to be all-knowing of what is going on in the factory, but the character does. why the character behaves the way he does and how the character feels about it. The pronoun he is usually or is used by the narrator to talk about Mr. Bucket and the things that he does. Diba? Okay, activity read each passage and identify the point of view. First person ba, second person, or third person? Okay, dito i-ano nyo na lang ha. I-pause nyo na lang. Sasabihin ko na lang yung sagot. So sa number one, Kim, don't tell me that you're playing computer games. Again, Lola, Nina scolded her grandson as she once again found him sitting in front of his computer. Okay, so this is third person point of view. I'm sending a letter to mom in Taiwan. Please sit down beside and I tell you how. Okay, second person point of view or pero dito gumamit ng I. Pero parang instruction kasi siya dito eh. Please sit down beside and I'll tell you how. So second person point of view to. Kung mag-react kayo, please comment section. Okay, to get started, you have opened the Outlook Express. Okay, so dito sa number 2, more on first person siya. Kasi mismo nga narrator yung nagsasalita dito. So first person point of view siya. Okay, number 3, second person point of view. So halata naman dito. So number 3, second person point of view. Down by a shining water shell, I found a very little dull no higher than my head. This is first person point of view. Okay, games may vary from puzzle to action-packed challenges, airstrike, and racers. So this is second person point of view. I'm having a serious hard time getting used to the fact summer is over. This is first person point of view. Number 7, second person point of view ito. Cooking means getting food ready to eat. You can do that without using the stove. This is second person point of view. Number 8, James stared. Ang labo ng mata ko. James stared into the bag and sure enough, there was a faint rustling sound coming up from inside. And then, he noticed, so makikita natin may gumamit dito ng third person pronoun. Therefore, third person point of view to. Ito sa number 9, a Coast Guard boat picked us up, but they were too busy to keep us for long or to wonder how three kids in the streets clothes had gotten up out into the middle of the bay. There was a disaster to mop up. The radios were jumped with distress calls. So this is third person point of view. Rating this book on a scale of 1 to 10, I give at 9. I like how the story gave every detail. So this is first person point of view. Okay? This is my reference. And thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. This is just a simple discussion lang naman. Okay? So, bye-bye! See you in my next video. Bye-bye po.